Hello there, Gemini. Gemini, this is your reading for April 2019. So, Gemini, the first cards that came up for you is the Five of Pentacles. Now, Gemini, this month of April is going to be quite challenging in one way for you, but it also is going to be very exciting. So the challenges are not going to be a defeat on your end. It is not going to be something that you're not going to be able to master or conquer or deal with. So be patient. Don't fear this first card being the Five of Pentacles, okay? Because even though, Gemini, you've gotten the Five of Pentacles for your first card, saying that in the past, okay, it's not saying what's going on currently, but in the past, yes, you may have been, excuse me, left out in the cold. There may have been things that were not told to you. There may have been things that were not spoken. This is also reflecting about your partner's feelings. Someone is not expressing themselves the way that they should. Somebody's kind of feeling reluctant, or they are feeling unable to express how they really feel about you. Somebody's not willing to put the time in right now to get something back on track, to get the balance that's needed. But I do feel like your partner or your ex-partner is struggling with the fact that they know that something they did was out of character. Something they did was wrong. Something they did was not in the best interest, of course, of the relationship. I also feel like your partner is being told by someone that they were being quite selfish in the situation, that they didn't give something a fair shot or a fair chance or a fair opportunity to get this relationship off the ground. For Geminis in general, I do feel that, overall for the month of April, Gemini, your work and your finances and all that are looking to be somewhat shifty. When I say shifty, what I mean by that is Geminis are hoping for some changes to come, whether it is in your career area, whether it is in your job title. Some of you are even opting to take the consideration to possibly pick up and move. Some of you are wanting to relocate. Some of you are going to be doing some short travel back and forth, Gemini. But it feels like when you're trying to do this travel, at the same time, your mind, especially even when you're sleeping, some of you may be doing some astro traveling, okay? So this travel doesn't have to be a physical move. This can be astro traveling when you're sleeping, meaning your mind is taking you to a whole bunch of different places. When I say different places, doesn't mean locations. It could be. But it also means that your mind is traveling out of body so that you can look at things from a different perspective, so that you can view what's happening in your current situation, and also to try to review what happened in your past situation. Some Geminis were feeling pretty much tackled or tagged by their partner, meaning feeling like this had to be. This was meant to be. This partner needed to be here in my life. Some of you felt this was your twin flame. Some of you felt that it was just your soulmate. But at the same time, having your twin flame, Gemini, doesn't mean that the universe is automatically going to keep them with you in this relationship. What it does mean is that your twin flame has been with you and followed your soul through many lifetimes, and will continue to follow your soul through many lifetimes. That's what twin flame is meaning. For some of you, don't misunderstand me, that everyone who comes into your life, it's for a reason or a season, meaning they are not destined all to stay. There wouldn't be enough room for everyone to stay in your life. Everything's changing constantly. People are dying. People are being born. So it is always energy moving, okay? For some of you Geminis, waiting for your past partner to return. Some of you Geminis need to understand that There's a reason that the universe allowed for a tower moment to happen. There's a reason the universe allowed for someone to walk out of your life. The same reason that the universe allowed someone to walk into your life. Okay? So for Geminis, you have to understand, some things are meant to let go because lessons still needed to be learned on your partner's part. You stepped in and were in their life for a reason, or they were in your life for a reason, Gemini, and there was things that you learned out of the situation. There was also things that you let program into your mind, which may or may not be good for you. Some of you allowed this narcissistic person to put thoughts into your mind, almost like a brainwashing, to impair you, to belittle you, to create a low self-esteem. Do not allow that partner, Gemini, to have that control over you. A lot of Geminis are going to be taking back their power in the month of April. A lot of you are going to be realizing that something that you thought was so good for you was actually not good for you at all. This is going to be a challenge for you, what I spoke about in the beginning, but it is going to be a positive one. It is going to shed light on the situation. It is going to make you humble in a certain way. It is also going to make you self-reflect, Gemini, and you are going to be able to see the beauty within yourself. You're going to see what you have to offer to other people and know that you are a beautiful, loving, inspiring person, very generous, so to speak, and very kind-hearted, that, you know, you always do for others before yourself. Now, Gemini, it's important right now that you start putting yourself first, because you haven't done that for a long time. It's important, too, to line up the things that need to be taken care of, bills that need to be paid, things that need to be repaired, things you've put off for a while because you spent so much of that money on your partner. The next card that I pull for Gemini is the Star card. With the Star card, it is telling me that someone may have thought that where they were in a certain situation wasn't as beautiful as it could be in another situation. Maybe someone was looking at a person they admired, and or someone who they were, I'm going to say emotionally or chemistry. You know, there was chemistry between this person, maybe your partner, and another person. Maybe they thought that that picture looked like it was painted beautifully and they wanted to step into that situation, but only to find out that the illusion that was created in their mind, thinking they were going from something better, from something good to something better, was truly a mistake. They are going to resent their decision. They are going to feel guilty in a certain kind of way. They are going to try to come back toward you for most of you. There is going to be communication coming for Geminis from your partner. So be prepared for that between April and May. But I feel it very strong toward the middle to the end of May. I'm lying to you. Toward the middle or the end of April. Okay, if it gets into May, it feels like those are the ones that are still not sure of what they're doing. So if your partner takes until May to communicate to you, then they were still unsure, still trying to make a decision between two. Okay, I do feel like there is someone, and I got the Four of Cups, so there is someone who is going to make an offer to you. They're going to offer their cup. However, not all Geminis are going to accept that cup. And this could be temporary. You could be just temporary holding out because you want to see more action. You want them to do more than speak it. Yes, you want to hear what they have to say, but you want to see what they have to say. A lot of you feel like you had blinders on and you were allowing their words to create the scene, but they never put actions to it. Never did they have the words and the actions together to create one. They didn't do that. Now I feel like those who are returning back to Gemini are going to bring actions with it. They're not just going to talk. They are going to show you how much you mean to them. They're also going to realize the mistakes of the bad choices that they made. the consequences that went with that, Gemini, they're going to figure that out. They're going to learn that they need to pay the consequences. It's kind of like riding a toll road where the toll bridges are. You must pay the tolls to get through. Well, they must pay the consequences to get back to you for things that they did, things that were unacceptable, things that should have never, been done in the first place. There has been an illusion created within their mind. Okay, some of them thought that they could put a little bit of energy into you and a little bit of energy into somebody else and keep both things going. But that's not going to last long. That won't work. Okay? The last card that I have for you is the Death card. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. Because this Death card does not mean that you're dying or they're dying or someone's dying. I'm not getting that. This Death card is saying that somebody's putting an end to a negative situation, okay? And whatever that means, whether that's you putting an end to something and saying, you know what, I'm not accepting that cup, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm done with it. They've made these promises to me before, and I'm over it. I'm going to move forward. I need to find love in my life. I need to find somebody who feels the same way I do and has the same goals that I do, okay? And the same time frame. They're looking at the same time frame. Some of you are wanting children so bad. But you know that this partner is not stable right now, and it's not a good idea to try to have children with them, because having a baby is not going to keep them there, okay? Or getting someone pregnant is not going to keep somebody with you. That's not going to make it work. That's not going to make it last, okay? For some of you Geminis, April is going to be a very important month for you where things are growing, sprouting. Okay, the seeds that you've planted previously, some of them may not have took off and bloomed the way they should. Some of them didn't develop into the beautiful flower that you expected to see. Some of them started to bloom, and then the weeds took over. Okay, so when the weeds come into your garden, Gemini, you must take the weeds out. It's hard when a partner brings weeds to the garden, because they are the only ones who can remove the weeds that they allowed to grow there. What I mean by this scenario is that if a partner brought in a third person, brought in an ex-partner, brought in someone who created a wedge between you and them, they are the ones that must remove that toxic piece of weed that is going to strangle your relationship with your partner. The weed will wrap around and choke the root so that no nutrients can go up to make that beautiful flower. Understand what I mean? So Geminis, be very careful. Take your time. When you allow someone to come back, that's a beautiful thing. Everyone deserves another chance, right? I get it. Your heart desires them. You love them very much. But at the same time, make sure that they're willing to get the weeds out of the garden. Okay? For single Geminis, this message for you for the month of April is saying that you're getting yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally prepared to meet somebody new. You're starting to grow. You're starting to come up to another level. You're starting to accept things the way that they are right now. You being single, not being involved with anybody, but at the same time, you're getting prepared. You're watching your weight. You're exercising more. You're trying to take care of yourself. You're working hard. You're putting your finances away. You're building a savings account. You're making plans for a vacation. Things are coming to fruition for you all that are single. So single Geminis, be strong, be patient. The universe is preparing for that special someone to come into your life. And I think within the next 3 months, you're going to find that there is going to be many offers made to you or options made available to you for you to decide who you want to be with, who you'd like to spend time with. For some of you single Geminis, you are going to meet someone that you only knew as a friend. And this friendship is going to develop into a love relationship. Okay? So be prepared for what's coming, because I think it's going to be very exciting for Geminis. And I think April is a fun month. Like I said, yes, there's challenges in front of you, but these challenges are exciting ones. These are ones that are going to build you up and bring you to another level. We have so much more to look forward to for this year of 2019 that You're going to be able to grow and flow with all the changes, Gemini. So be patient because it's coming. All right? So that's me for now. Hope you all heard your message very clearly. I put it up on a machine so that you didn't hear my hear it muted with my finger over top of the speaker like I usually do. So I hope this helped. Let me know, and I will see you soon. That's your April, Gemini.